This is episode 11. We've changed environments. We're now inside. It is
We're on
very
a couch today.
It's very hot. We're actually no. Let's tell. We're renovating the podcast room. That's why we're inside today.
Yes, renovating.
We're renovating the podcast room. We're
Should we tell
trying.
them how we're renovating it?
Yeah. So the way it's set up at the
Facebook
moment.
Marketplace free couch.
That's the one. That's
So
the one.
if you want to give us a free couch, hit us up.
Watch 4 people message us and say, "Yeah, I got a free couch." Although out of the 4 people that probably watch this podcast, we'll probably
Oh, you never know.
you never know.
We might get that one extra person that watches
we
it
might.
that has a couch in there that wants to give it to us. You know, they like our content. They want to hear it,
Yeah.
but on their couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like people will get weird and start doing some weird shit to their couch to give it to us. You know, there's been a trend on social media. I've been keeping up with the new trends.
Have you now?
And they're saying that Coke Zero or Coke No Sugar is bad for you. Because it's got all these different
Fancy schmancy stuff.
weird
Big
stuff
words.
inside of it. I don't know. Phenylalanine. Anyways, I talked to the nutrition team. They did mention the reason I'm bringing this up, right, is for a lot of people, it is beneficial to have Coke with no sugar in it. There's 0 calories in it, so it's not going to really add caloric energy to your daily intake. The reason I keep on rambling on about it is because I feel like if you were to choose between a Coke with sugar, it's around 300 calories. Then Coke no sugar, it's 0 calories.
Big difference.
It's a massive difference. If you're there smashing Coke, full Cokes, whatever, you're just having all these unnecessary calories that are gonna spike up your daily intake, energy intake, with no actual added benefits. Whereas, if you just want to have the drink for its taste,
And for the carbonation.
without that added caloric bonus,
Like,
Coke no sugar.
this is... I didn't realise how much sugar was in this. Do you want to know?
They're pretty heavy, aren't they?
43 grams of sugar.
Yeah, pretty heavy.
750 kilojoules in this.
I've been having for the gym this week.
Yeah. It's
Or
a good
before
like,
a run.
before a run.
I picked up running, by the way, guys.
How has that been going? I picked up running too. How do you feel it's been like? That was a big shift. Go from Coke to running.
Okay, let's just finish this debate. Because have you seen the debate?
Yeah, it's been
People
going on
saying
for
that,
ages.
Coke no sugar, that you shouldn't be eating, it's drinking it, and other people saying it's the best thing ever. For me personally, I like it because I like the taste of Coke, honestly.
It's the supplement, like it's the opposite. It's the healthier alternative.
Yeah, for me it's a healthy alternative. Like, would I choose one that's 300 calories or the one that's 0 calories that tastes the same to me personally? I'd rather have this. Gives me that sugar craving that I was kind of looking for, because sometimes you get those sugar cravings. Even though it has no sugar in it, I feel like the taste just stops me from wanting to go and binge eat. Because sometimes you can get into those
Bad habits.
bad habits, yeah.
Like that, it starts the chain of bad eating.
Because I have been, what do you call the word? I have gone down rabbit holes where I would binge eat. And you've seen it.
I have seen it.
So I'll have like 2 big dinner plates full of food,
And,
and
you'll
I'll
sit
get
there
so
like
happy.
this.
Then after I'm just like,
Carb load.
yes, sleep time.
Do you feel a difference having that and between that and normal Coke?
Not really, weirdly enough. Like,
If
I
you
don't
were to
feel
have that with a meal compared to Coke with a meal, what do you reckon? Have
So
you ever
I've had
tried
a
that?
Coke in a long time, so I don't
Yeah.
really notice the difference.
So like
I'll
that
be
was the
honest.
first time I've had a solo, like a full sugar solo. And I just feel like mush.
Wasted.
Not wasted,
You
but I
should be
just feel
feeling the
mush.
opposite. You should be feeling high energy because of all the sugar that's in it.
Well, give me let it digest a bit. Come back to me in about 30 minutes. I'll probably be buzzing with conversation. But it is hot, and I feel like the weather does really drain you a lot. Weather's been pretty hot recently. They
I
said
made
it
an
was.
essay on the disc profile today, so I'm recovering still.
It's a very the weather recently, they said it's going to be the hottest summer this year. Or
We're almost finished, but
End
it's
of Feb.
February summer as well.
I think, I don't know. I think it is December. Yeah. December, January, February.
Oh, shit. Low power mode.
It's still recording. But yeah, I've going on feeling sluggish. This is my first week back properly training again.
Oh, it is.
It is properly training again, and
And you joined the new gym.
I did. I joined C3. I just did my first session this morning, actually.
What made you make that leap? I mean, you've always been into group training type things.
I don't know.
I could see you as a CrossFitter, you know.
I
You're
was
fruity enough to be a CrossFitter.
I do look like I would go down that path of being a CrossFitter. I was actually considering it last
C3
year.
is CrossFit, is it?
It's no.
It's not.
Oh well, it does make sense as to why it's C3, like CrossFit.
CrossFit 3.
Yeah, but
It's like a new style.
yeah, I don't
We're
know.
CrossFit, but we do deadlifts.
Yeah, true. I don't know. It's got a good mixture of both. It's like cardio and weights. I don't know. This is my first.
That's
that was my
CrossFit.
Yeah. So I'm a CrossFitter now.
CrossFit.
I'm a CrossFitter. But I started that today, and I don't know. This past week I've been like, I need to do something. This week has been the first week I've felt like far out. I'm in a full-time job. I've got to focus on balance. I've got to focus on creating new habits. I've got to get back into a routine. I've got to get back onto scheduling. I've got to get back onto my grind. I've got to get back onto this. I was just going back and forth this week. So one of the things on my list this week was to try something new. So I signed up to C3, and it just, yeah, I don't know. Like it's always something that I wanted to do because I used to train at F45. So when I was at F45, it was an easier introduction into the gym world because a lot of people just go in with no idea of what to do when lifting weights. But for the people,
F45 is just like people jumping around in the room.
Intro version, yeah, like an intro of the fitness world, and then you increase it and you
It's
go.
a big smack in the face if you want to intro into the fitness world.
It is.
I feel like if my first introduction to the fitness world was an F45 class, I don't think I'd ever be wanting to train again in my life.
It would scar you. It
100%.
would 100% scar you. Cause
I almost passed out in my first F45 session. And
They're crazy.
I was, in that time period, in one of my peak forms. I was, when I say peak fitness level for me at the time, I was in the middle of my soccer season. I was training like 5-6 times a week at the gym. So I was pumping at least 2, 4, 6, at least 20 hours, 15 to 20 hours a week of training.
Jesus.
I did an F45 workout, and somehow that killed me. Try and figure out that.
Yeah, like I used to coach. A soccer team, and we used to take them through the 45 class, and they would be crying on the floor, crawling to the next set, and like just in so much pain.
And I realised it's because soccer is anaerobic, because you're doing like sprint, stop, and then you're jogging, you're like walking. Whereas F45 is constant. You don't really have any rest.
No.
Whereas in football, you'll notice the players actually walk around in the field.
Yeah.
Half the game, you know? Like they might do like max energy boosts and sprints and stuff, which is where most of the energy comes out.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
if you do a full 90-minute football game, you're gonna be fucked.
You'll be fucked, but like I felt like when I was doing when I was playing, it was all right to sit on the pitch for 90 minutes.
Yeah, because the adrenaline.
Because the adrenaline.
Adrenaline, you're into the competition, you love the sport,
Yeah.
all that stuff. If anyone from F45 who's never played football before, chuck them into a 90-minute football game,
No way.
get them to compete, slaughtered. It's the same thing. I feel like your body adapts to the stress you place on it. So if you go into F45 and you just keep on going, your body's eventually going to be able to adapt to that type of training. Eventually, you've reached that adaptation level. Same with football. If you're if you love football and you're training football all the time, your body's eventually going to adapt to it. So you'll notice maybe the first week of like football, you're going to be completely destroyed after your game or after training.
Yeah.
But then midway through your season, you're going through the whole 90 minutes and you're probably still able to go more, go longer, maybe play extra time.
Fuck, I miss playing soccer.
We're playing this year.
I know, but we haven't got a team together yet.
You know Mark? He's got a team of 24 right now. I told him if I could have some players, and he was like, no one's going to want to play with 20-year-olds.
Spewing. Yeah. What's that in your
We've
team?
got a team of 11 right now, guys. So if you want to join our team...
This video's going to go out in months time.
Yeah, they can join midway through the season.
Oh yeah, just jump on board, guys. Come on in.
We're accepting players, okay? CDM and centre back here. So
Those spots are filled. Sorry, guys. But no, I miss it. I miss being able to
Well,
just.
I'm thinking of applying to play for Derby County. See if they accept me. I don't know. You never know.
I hear you're considering moving to Townsville as well.
No, Derby County. Derby.
Well, Derby. Yeah.
So, guys, you might notice I'm wearing this white shirt today. I actually got an offer from Derby County in the UK. They called me up because I saw a video of me juggling the ball and taking a shot at the crossbar. And they called me up and was like, hey, Brendan, I've seen that video of you on socials. Thought it looked good. We are looking for a solid CDM. So I was like, yeah, mate, I've got a few offers coming to me at the moment. Hit me with your best one, whatever. They offered me 10 million, but, it wasn't enough to get me to move from my heart and soul home in Sydney, CBD, living right next to Cronulla Beach, which is the best beach in the world, to go to Derby in the middle of the UK. It's got to be at least 50. That's what I told them. They said, no, they've got a tight budget. They can't do it. So I said, I'm staying here. Right. So they sent me this jersey. Now I'm wearing it in support of their team. Because I do still support Derby County. And yeah, I wish them well for their season this year. I feel like they are going to come up into the championship next year. So if you are following the English Premier League or any leagues in England, I would tell you to really watch Derby, because in a few years' time, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm playing for him.
Speechless. That's how powerful that was.
Yeah.
Speechless. Yeah. Look.
Should we show them a video of when I signed for Liverpool as well?
Yeah, I'll chuck it in there. Yeah. So he's gone from Liverpool to Derby County to now some park soccer team in Sydney. So you can say he's been all over the world.
I have. Yeah.
In regards to that.
Who else did I play? Who else did I sign for? That Croatian team. How's your?
I'm just gonna put a little spiel.
Huh?
I'm gonna post a little spiel of all your signings, just in this video. I'll put
Arsenal? No, I did a press conference.
You did a
with
press
Arsenal.
conference with Arsenal?
Them. They asked me if I would want to come on board. I said no. I didn't like the Emirates. I walked in, saw the field, saw that it was still being built. Not being built. The grass wasn't laid, and I didn't think that was professional. So I said, no, I can't come on. Anyways, moving on, because we're not here to talk about my football career. We were talking about how I might be going to Townsville.
Yes, okay. I'm glad we got back there. I'm glad you remembered what I asked, because I forgot.
Alright, so
After that story.
I wanted to go back to study this year. I think I said that on
Yeah,
the last podcast.
we spoke about that in the last podcast. I'm going back to study as well, but we'll go on to you first.
So I've had a few offers, just like I've had a few offers for my signing, right? But I've also had a few offers to study at various unis for various degrees. At first I was going down the chiropractic route, but then I've also gone down the physiotherapy route too. So I've kind of been in two minds about which path to take. I feel like for me personally, it doesn't really matter which path I take, but I am excited about maybe trying out Queensland. So if you catch me in Townsville this year, then hit me up.
You're speaking like you're freaking EBT. Like everyone knows who you are. Oh yeah, if you catch me around, just make sure you wave and say
Yeah, make
hello.
sure you wave and say like, oh, that's the guy from Derby County.
What's the difference between the 2 degrees?
Not really much, if I'm going to be honest. There is a lot of slack out there of people thinking that chiros are just people that crack backs and all that stuff. And physios are seen as physical therapists, which just means they focus more on the exercise stuff. And I focus more on the exercise stuff. So I feel like that probably is the right
Path to go
direction
down.
sort of thing for me. But then I know a chiro that does basically the same style of stuff that I do. So I know I'm in two minds. For me, I guess the next podcast you'll know 100% the decision I take because I'll have to accept something by next week.
Yeah.
That's tune in for the next one. You'll know exactly where I'm going.
It's interesting. Like, what's the difference between chiropractic and physio? Like, what's the actual difference between the two? So you said one focuses more on the exercise side of stuff, and
It's hard to determine what the difference is because they're both rehab professionals, so they focus on rehabilitation of injuries. Now,
but
physio
does one go into detail more than the other?
not
Is that
really.
the difference?
They say it's more about their approach.
Okay.
So it's like when a chiro meets you for the first time, their approach is going to be different to what a physio would do when they meet you for the first time. In terms of like maybe a chiro is going to be more looking at your joint alignments, seeing if they're all aligned, whereas a physio is going to be more looking at the strength of your muscles and bones and stuff like that. I guess it's just what they learn at uni and they put into practice into what they kind of want to do. But then my chiro also told me, doesn't matter what you learn, it's about what you're going to be doing in practice.
The more
When you're
hands-on
actually
stuff.
there, when you're actually doing the stuff and what you take away from your learning, but then also put into practice. Because you could be a physio that just has a chiro name. That's kind of what she explained to me, and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. So I guess I could stay in Sydney. I don't know how long I can be away from Cronulla Beach. So yeah, I guess Townsville, your beaches have to be grand for me to make the move.
It's all dependent on the beaches. If there's no
Yep.
beaches, not going.
100%.
Is it hard to think of a decision, or like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is like, obviously,
There's a
with
few
life,
factors that go into it.
yeah.
Right? Decisions. Your life is based on the decisions that you make every day.
Yeah.
Like, if I just jumped at going to Townsville, I could be in Townsville next week, and then 3 years of my life, I'm going to be away from my friends, away from my family, away from everything that I've created for the last 24 years of my life. Pretty crazy thing to think about. You know what I mean? Built this whole business in Sydney, and now I'm just leaving, sort of thing. It's a massive decision to make, but it could be one that I do take. But then also staying here, and then living with the regret of knowing that I could have tried something else, tried going to Queensland and experiencing QLD life.
I think you're a very independent person. How do you feel like you would be on your own?
I feel like I'll be straight on my own, to be honest.
You'd be pretty AIDS. You just
I'll
have
get
to learn to cook.
Yeah, that. Or I just find a missus.
You just find
as fast as I can, so I can get it to cook for me. I'll get a foamy, go out and surf.
That's right. I think we were talking about you wanting to surf in the last podcast too.
Were we?
Yeah, I think so. Because so we went and visited my cousin in Copacabana the other day.
Yeah.
We were driving up, and the whole way back from Copacabana, because there's really nice beaches and stuff there.
No,
This
it was the moment we got there. We saw Copacabana Beach,
Yeah.
and I was like, man, that looks like a good swell. Never said that in my life. But I saw the beach, and I was like, those waves look sick to surf.
Yeah. So,
Even though I've never surfed before, so I don't know if they're good to surf or not. They just looked nice. So we were walking to his cousin's place, and he started saying he brought out his foamy, and I
yeah.
was like, "Whoa, what?" Didn't know what that word even meant, but translated it to be surfboard,
Yeah, foam surfboard.
a foam-based surfboard. Yeah.
And then the whole way home, I don't think we talked about anything else but surfboards and fins and racks.
And how I can actually make this part of my hobby.
Yeah, yeah. Seeing if
And
it
I
could
looked
work.
it up. I was like, okay, it's gonna be around $100 for a good rack to put on roof racks for your car. It's gonna be another $100 for the surfboard. So the whole hobby is gonna cost me $200. But then I thought about the swimsuit. That is the expensive cost.
How much is it?
They're around $300 to $500 depending on.
Shit.
So I think you can find cheap ones. And I haven't really done too much research yet.
Mm.
But yeah, it is what it is.
All right. Yeah. No, I was speaking to one of my clients the other day about me wanting to go back to TAFE or uni, and I wasn't sure. Like I was in two minds about about whether to go to uni or TAFE. I think I've made my decision, and I want to go to TAFE. But she was explaining, similar to how you've got physios and chiros, the psychology side of things. So I was considering going to do psychology. So I was going to go and do a bachelor of psychology, and majoring in communications or something. I think it was like that. But it was like 7 years.
What?
Yeah, it's a long course. It's 4 years for the 4 to 5 years for the psychology course, and then for everything else, it's like an extra 2 years.
Far out.
But I'm like 7 years of my life. I'm 24 now, going on 25 in December.
You'll be 31 when you
I'll
finish.
be 31, yeah. And I don't
Isn't
know.
there shorter psychology degrees?
Yeah. There's some like 4 years, but they're like just diplomas. There was diplomas, which was shorter, bachelor, and then obviously a master's, but I can't go down that route because I'm not smart enough,
Or you just haven't done a bachelor's yet.
and that too.
You could get into it.
I could, but I don't know if I would go down that path. But anyway, then I found TAFE, and TAFE offer like a diploma in mental health, which is something that I feel like recently has been coming up a lot more. Like Brendan and I have both spoken about how important mental health is for both of us, how important communicating is, how important being open with the people that you can trust. And
100%.
and I feel
we were
like
talking about that yesterday.
yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. We had a friend that was sort of going through a bit of a rough patch, and he turned around 5 minutes into driving to work, and he turned around and he went home, and we were like, that's not like him. So like both Brendan and I drove there, picked him up, went to a spot, chatted to him, and kind of just got him to talk about like how he was feeling.
Because males don't talk.
It is a very big stereotype that males don't talk, but it's actually
And this
factual.
guy gets people to talk.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't really talk about my emotions,
Yeah.
but the more I'm around this guy, he gets me to open up about things. And I feel like getting things off my chest is actually really good.
100%.
Opens your brain.
Yeah.
Some new opportunities, I like to say.
Yeah, yeah. Like a lot of people challenge.
So what am I going to do if I'm in Queensland
Just call me.
and talk to you on the phone?
I'll probably be
But it
quiet.
won't be the same.
It won't.
Because I won't see your face and your reactions and stuff to what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
we can do like a Zoom call.
FaceTime.
You can book it in. You can book in. You can book in a meeting with me.
Okay.
I'll send you my Calendly.
I have access to it anyway.
Perfect. Sorted.
I'll move your calendar around just to make myself free. You'll have a session at this time. Oh, rebooked.
Yeah, but yeah, that chat really opened my mind to the fact that I'm able to have that confidence to have a chat with someone. So, when I was talking to my client, she was saying, there's psychotherapists and there's psychologists. Psychologists are like the physios of the world, where they just sort of diagnose you with a problem, like a mental health problem or something like that, and then they just give you tips and tricks on how to, like a game plan on how to overcome it, and then come back every couple months and check in with us. Whereas a psychotherapist dives in a little bit deeper, and this is where like Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
Tony Robbins is like one of the best motivational speakers in the world. He's very. So I was listening to a podcast the other day of him, and his very first free, what was it? His very first free seminar that he gave away. So he went on to the radio, and he was saying how he can cure people with fears and all that stuff in like 15 minutes, whereas you go to a therapist, and they'll spend a year or two going through the fears and how you can overcome them, etc. So a doctor called up, and the doctor said, "Oh, you're talking all this baloney, like it's absolute crap, like blah, 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 blah." And Tony Robbins goes, "Let me ask you a question. Do you have any clients that have been with you for a while?" The doctor goes, "Yeah." He goes, "How long, if you don't mind me asking?" He goes, 7 years. This lady had a 7-year relationship with this psychologist because she had a fear of snakes.
What?
So in the whole podcast, he was saying pretty much that he went on the radio. He pretty much said to the doctor, "Bring her to my seminar and I will cure her in like 15 minutes. And I promise you that." And this was his first big thing. This was his first breakthrough. This is what made him so famous. Anyway, he went to this seminar.
I've never heard of this.
For a 50-person venue. He had 550 people rock up. So they had to take it out to the car park and do the seminar there. And he was waiting for that doctor and the lady to come in the whole time. So the first 10 minutes he was waiting. He kind of like pushed it back. He pushed it back, and he saw this guy walk in with a lady in his arms. And the doctor goes, "Here she is, this is the lady." And so she went up onto the stage, and she was like, "Hey, I'm Tony Robbins, blah, 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 blah." He was introducing himself. And then it got to the point where he was like, "And your name is?" "Oh, my name's Lucy." "Oh, awesome, Lucy. Lovely to meet you. I heard you have a fear of snakes." And he yelled it at her, and she fretted. She was like shitting bricks. She was shaking, and she goes, and he kind of pulled her back, and he goes, "Okay, so now the scare factor's there. Like it's out of your realm. I've told you about snakes." Anyway, he went through NPL. It was like some sort of neuro PL something, neuro personal linguist or something. Anyway. Within 15 minutes of him talking to her, he screamed out snakes again, and she didn't really react. And then he goes, "How do you feel about snakes?" And she goes, I don't mind them, but they're just weird. They're just weird." And she goes, "Yeah, I don't know. They're just really weird." And he goes, "Okay, no worries. You sit tight here." He goes behind a box, and he brings out a snake, and he shoves it in her face, and she freaked out, and she like jumped all over the place, and he goes, "All right, now sit back down." It was just like a little gardener snake. It was like nothing, harmless, non-venomous.
Yeah.
So she sat back down, and he goes like, "What is the real purpose as to why you're afraid of snakes? Like it's here in front of you now. Like 15 minutes ago, you couldn't do anything about it. You couldn't even think of snakes without having a panic attack. But now you're sitting here, conquering your fear, and you're sitting here with a snake. Like, tell me how you digressed everything." And he was explaining how the neuro parts of your brain are so wired to avoid things that you fear that you don't actually conquer anything without actually facing it. So his whole perception on like getting people to overcome their fears or overcome battles or overcome mental health issues or anything like that, that's his whole thing. It's to like literally smack you in the face with the reality of life. Yeah, with whatever it is, the reality of whatever you're facing, dealing with it head on, and actually, for instance, a lot of people are religious, like having the faith of the Lord sort of guide you through it, or, if you don't believe in anything, it's just, you let other people sort of find their own path. But his whole thing, his MPL, the way, I don't know what it means. I actually want to research it. But let me bring it up quickly, because it's actually like a really weird...
It's called MPL.
Yeah, and yeah, I searched it up, and it was nothing came up. It was like, oh, the MPL. Like soccer.
Like the National Premier League?
Yeah. But
I played there too, by the way.
Did you? Neuro-linguistics programming techniques. So it's like, yeah, so it's the way you verbalize your
That's
words.
NLP.
NLP, sorry, NPL, I was saying NPL because I'm so used to saying that. But it's how you can transform your life. What neurolinguistics programming is the studies the way our thoughts affect our behavior. So it looks at the brain's way of interpreting the signals that they receive and how these interpretations affect what we do. So that was like his whole thing that he learned. He got mentored from like a really young age, like the age of 17.
Oh, wow.
And then he did his first seminar at the age of like 23. He went through this whole went through this whole pathway. He taught the army. Like he applied for this job, this role or something, and they brought him to like an army base. And at the army base, he's like, "Oh, I'm here to teach people how to shoot guns." He's never shot a gun in his life. So he grabs the gun and he goes, "All right, I'm going to teach you how to shoot a gun." So he shot the gun and it flew out of his hand, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, why is this guy teaching us how to shoot a gun?" Then he goes, "Look, the whole purpose of me being here is to break down your thought process into making you a better sharpshooter, because I know that I don't have the equipment for it, but I know that I can train your brain to be smarter and one step ahead of the game." Yeah, he went to this army base. He pretty much taught these guys to trust themselves while holding a gun, because holding a gun, you can be really good at shooting a gun, but when you have to shoot a gun, you've got to learn to trust yourself. And he would program their brains to sort of pinpoint fucking targets from miles away. So he would start them in front. So he'd have the target in front of them. Then he'd push it back 20 meters, back another 20 meters, back another 20 meters. And they had their brain programmed to always hit that target, because all they just saw was the target getting further away, but their aim sort of was always there. So it's crazy, bro. I didn't even know about that, but it was in that podcast that I kind of learnt that about him, and that kind of made me go down the path of the mental health side of things and integrating some of this NLP stuff into my own practice. So that's why I went down that path. I feel like that is a
big
good
step.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Big podcast that I listened to. George Jenko.
They're gonna be an NLP guy.
I'll be an NLP guy. But yeah.
You with your 10,000 qualifications.
So I'm a life coach as well, guys. I've got to tell you.
Oh, you haven't told them yet? Oh, yeah, he's a life coach. He's a mental health assistant. He's a personal trainer. He's a scaffolder. I
used to be an Uber driver as well. I used to deliver Uber. Yeah.
Uber Eats?
Uber Eats. I was an Uber Eats driver.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was during COVID.
Were you ever an Uber driver?
No. My car was 2005. It didn't qualify. It was too old. Yeah.
Well, now you can.
Now I can, yeah. Don't know if I want to. Don't know if it's something in my sights to pick up drunk people and just sort of have conversations with them. And I mean, it could work, but
it could be funny.
Could be hilarious, but I'm not cleaning up the freaking vomit in the car.
Yeah, no, I don't think I could ever do that. Hey mate, how's it going?
I remember times that I was just in the car driving to go out somewhere, and I'm just like, all right, I'm in the back, I'm feeling really sick. Hey boss, do you mind pulling over for 2 minutes? And shut the door. All right, I'm sweet. Let's go. On we go.
Wiper on the seatbelt, like.
There was.
Okay, I've never done that before, guys, but like, I'm just making an assumption of what some people would do.
But you know what tonight is?
Boys' night. It is
boys'
night.
Now, Brendan has set some boundaries for the boys' night. Brendan is the sole.
I'm the last man standing.
He's the last man standing.
So we've got a big group of boys. How many of us? 8?
There's about 7 of us, yeah. 7, 8, 9 of us.
9. So 9 boys, 9 males. I am the last man standing without a missus. So I am the new designated...
Organiser.
Organiser of the boys' nights.
Designated organiser.
Because, all the boys feel bad. They're like, fuck, you've got to do one boys' night a week,
Yeah.
So I hang on to these boys' nights, Friday nights. And I feel like having them scheduled or planned is good, because life is always going to get in the way. Whereas if you have like at least one day of the week where you kind of schedule it for your friends,
Yeah.
or this could be a family, or this could be a partner. Like I feel like there should be some type of scheduling, so then you make sure the people that you care about the most
Yeah.
are like accounted for every week.
I feel like that a lot of people
Get complacent in
they
relationships.
get complacent and they forget about the memories that they've made with the boys that they've grown up with, and then they just disappear.
Yeah.
But what, like,
Well, that's an example of boys, but like I feel like this is very common with relationships.
yeah,
as well.
100%.
Like people get complacent in relationships after they've been together for years that they don't do their normal date nights anymore.
Yeah,
Scheduling that in could be something that really I don't know,
changes it.
changes it. Yeah.
I think that's very true as well. Like a lot of people get very complacent. They forget about the fact that you couldn't go out and just go for a walk, or you can go out and walk along the beach, have a dinner, go watch a movie. Like, but scheduling that in, everyone's busy. Everyone's got freaking very busy lives. Everyone's
But
working.
If they're actually someone that you care about, you should
Yeah.
be reserving time for them.
100%.
I feel like that should be important to anyone's life.
Mm.
So for me right now, the boys are my main thing. So I feel like these Friday nights, they're very important to me, man. You know. So I tell all the boys, make sure you don't plan anything with the missus on Friday nights.
Yeah, no, that's.
So I've told all their girlfriends. I said, don't take him out on Friday. You've got
Put his foot down.
you've got Saturday to Thursday to take him out. Just leave one day for me.
Saturday to Thursday. Friday is like reserved.
1 out of 7.
What out of 7? Like,
1 out of
surely.
7. She can have him for 6 days out of the week.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want 1.
That's fair. But what if it's like family stuff then?
No, that takes precedent.
Yeah, that takes top. Okay,
Mm.
cool.
Because sometimes things just happen.
Yeah.
You know, like a birthday or, passing of a relative.
Yeah,
A bit morbid, but like, those things happen.
100%. And I'm not laughing at death. I'm just laughing at the fact that what he said. But
There could be new life, pregnancies.
yes. Oh, far out. There's a lot
Yep.
of people getting pregnant these
I know.
days.
And we're hitting our quarter life crisis at the moment. So we are seeing a lot of people around our age getting married.
Yeah,
kids.
engaged, kids.
Tying the
out.
knot.
Yeah, tying the knot. A lot of people are getting engaged recently.
But then there's also a lot of people our age who are deciding to move to Townsville. So, I guess everyone is on a different path.
Mm.
That's the thing. Can never judge someone else's path because everyone is going to be taking a different road to you.
Do you feel a lot of people? Because I was just thinking about like the social media side of things. Because obviously you see, like as I said, like you see a lot of people getting married. You see a lot of people. Do you feel like a lot of people follow the social media trend, and one person gets married, and then it puts a little pin drop in someone's ear to say, "Oh,
No, I've got to do it.
now I've got to do it."
Social media is just a highlights reel, I feel.
Pretty much.
People are just going to put on social media what they want other people to see,
Yeah.
but also what are you going to post on social media about, like, when your life is shit? When your life is shit, everyone decides to go and hide away and not really be open and share a lot with the world. Whereas when things are going good, obviously everyone wants to share that with the world, like graduating uni or graduating school, whatever it is, getting married. Those are big events in their life that they want everyone to know and share. Why would they want people to know about their failures, their losses, all that stuff? Hence why social media doesn't have any of that.
I feel like recently a lot more people have been showing the downside to life, but
I have noticed that a bit, but like
it's
they don't
not.
go, it's not
not
deep
deep.
enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not deep, but it's like enough to show people that they're going through shit, without telling people that they're going through a lot of shit.
I mean, do you show people on social media? Like,
No way.
your
But
shit times, where you show people your good times.
I show
like
the
you jacked on
yeah,
on
100%.
screen, you know?
That's the thing. Like
You never show people when you're fat.
yeah, like I had a period, 100%. I had a period where I disconnected from social media for a bit.
Actually, no, we have to stop it right there. Not when you were fat. When you just had some extra kilos. On your body.
I was hibernating my abs for the winter. Let's just say.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. And
but
then he went through a phase where he decided, you know what? I want to get that six pack.
Yeah, yeah.
So you just lost a couple of kilos.
I'm in that phase now. I'm slowly wanting that six pack for winter.
What? Same.
I agree.
I agree with
Well,
that
summer's
statement.
gone, so like, well, the next aim is like, all right, I want to get jacked for winter.
Get fluffy. Oh, 100 kilos, that's what. So we saw this thing on social media before of like that men have to be, no,
2/3. Women have to be 2/3 of your weight.
yeah. So I said like, is your missus 2/3 of
Yeah.
your body weight? We worked it out that she wasn't. So I was like, you know what you have to do, mate? You have to put on another 20 kilos. Because you can never tell someone to lose weight, but you can tell someone to gain weight. So in that situation, I was like, you're going to have to gain 20 kilos, mate.
I'm currently 80 kilos.
Yeah, so I get to 100. Then the 2/3 will be good. Yeah, there you go. That's what you got to do. Such a stupid thing. Such a stupid thing. When I saw that, I was like, what the...
Yeah.
Just bleep it out. What the fuck do people actually post on social media?
I'm gonna leave that. I'm just gonna leave it.
Seriously, like, what is that post? Women have to be 2/3 of your body weight.
But see, like that's how bad
Come
social.
on,
That's
man.
how bad
Well, what-
social media is. Like
And
that's.
then the next post is, you can't body shame. Body shaming is bad. It's like, pick a lane, man.
Yeah.
Pick a lane.
Social media is brutal as well.
Oh, it
so
is.
bad.
Yeah, if you get into the comment section.
It's so bad.
Even I saw, what was it? There's, you know the whatever podcast?
Yeah.
That how they rate each other?
Yeah.
Like, oh, what do you rate yourself out of 10, whatever?
Yeah.
And there was bigger person on there, and she rated herself to be an 8. Then like everyone else rated themselves. Anyways, the reason I'm saying this is because I went on the comment section, and James Smith wrote 8 with an A-T-E.
That's not far out.
And
That's the see. That's the thing. The
then there was just heaps of people writing words about like
Food.
trying to get the word 8 into a synonym with food.
oh my god.
8 trucks, like
Oh my god. That's so bad.
8
People can be
8 Happy Meals. It was
people
8
can,
Happy Meals every hour. Like there was just like a lot of jokes made about her rating and her weight and stuff, and I was like, these keyboard warriors.
yeah,
They really like to come out when they want to come out.
they're
don't they?
harsh, man. They're harsh.
It's because they know they have no repercussions. Because on social media, all it is a comment on a screen.
The only thing that
And
can
they
happen
probably
is,
don't have a photo of themselves on their social media page, whatever it is.
and the only thing that can happen is your account gets blocked
Yeah,
or deleted.
blocked. Oh
Blocked.
damn! I've got another 10 emails.
I can just use the other one. But yeah, that's
Social media is.
social media as a whole.
You know, I saw. What did I say? I saw a podcast as well recently of people explaining how much more their screen time is going up. Because you have those screen time apps.
Have
Whatever.
you been
that tells
monitoring
you.
yours?
I have been. It's gone crazy, man. I think
Up?
Yeah. It's like 6 hours or something.
Jeez. Up 6 hours?
No, it is 6 hours.
Oh, okay.
6 hours a day. When I realised mine at 6 hours a day, I was like, shit, I don't feel like I'm on my phone that much. But then I realised it counts talking on the phone. And I'll be on phone calls for an hour, sometimes 2. And I was like, okay, makes more sense, but it's still a big chunk of your day on your phone. Because I would probably say I'm on the phone every day around 2 to 3 hours.
I'd be curious.
That doesn't
to see.
count the extra 3. Social media, maybe posting, creating content.
I'd be curious to see mine, because I'm on the phone like a lot these days.
Yeah, 100%, both of us are. But I'd say like 70% of our time on our phone is work related, because of the fact we use our phones for work.
Yeah.
When we finish work, we don't want to touch anything related to our work. I want to be disconnected from my phone.
Yeah.
You know,
I just throw my phone away. I sit on the couch.
Which is a good thing. I feel
Yeah.
like it's a good thing anyway, because I'm like so connected to my phone for the whole day at work, and then when I'm finished, I'm like, you go away. I don't
Yeah.
want to talk to you anymore.
Crazy,
Unless I'm
man.
on a phone call.
Yeah.
Because I'm weird like that, right? I like to get girls' numbers because I like to call them on the phone.
I reckon that's a very good way of. See,
I just
I
don't like texting.
yeah,
so
yeah,
that's just-
yeah. No. That's I agree with you. I think that's the best way to communicate with people. Is just like speak to them straight over the phone instead of.
Beep,
Oh,
beep, beep. Hi, how's your day going? So I could have done that conversation in 2 seconds with
Yeah.
you on the phone with me.
Mm.
You know, like I need this small talk business on the phone, on text. Actually, I should say. Because what if I don't like the sound of their voice? I just wasted all that time texting. That's another thing as well.
So many factors.
So many factors go into this.
So many factors.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, all I know is that they've got good text game when they're texting. Like,
There was a quote one of our friends said the other day, kind of stood out to me. What is wrong, and what is right?
no, what is right and what is wrong?
Same thing.
Yeah, it is the same thing. It technically is the same thing.
It is. What is right and what is wrong, and what is wrong and what is right.
Yes, yeah, right. It is the same thing.
But
that is a big thing.
yeah,
Every time, what's it called? Whenever I'm in a situation thinking like, oh, I'm right or I'm wrong, whatever it is, I start thinking, hey, this friend in our group, his voice comes into my head. What is right? What is wrong?
yeah,
With the accent
visual.
as well that he puts on, I'm just like, breathe.
It's a very like meditative comment.
Thought it's stoic
Yeah, I sit there and I go, what is right and what is actually wrong?
because there is no right and there is no wrong. It's just whatever you make of the decision.
That's what my client said as well. Funny enough, she said that the other day. We were talking about like the psychotherapist and the physio,
It's honestly whatever you make a
So,
decision. Like
yeah.
for me, like I could go down the chiro path and then fully be invested in that, and then to me that would be right. But then I could also say the same thing about physio, or like, you know, moving to Queensland. I could have in my mind that that's the best thing to do, but then I could also think it's the wrong thing to do. So it's all about my perception or people's perceptions on their decisions. If you're going to take that road, believe in yourself that that road is the right decision for you.
100%.
If you don't, then what are you doing?
Wow, very wise words.
Maybe I can be a psychotherapist.
Very wise words. I wonder where you got those words from. Can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, same.
Oh wait, I can.
Did you just give yourself a nose touch?
Yeah, I was,
We've got to navigate. You know, something I wanted to touch on because we talked about last podcast as well. Navigating addictions. Now, I've been battling a nicotine addiction since the age of 15.
And how have you overcome it?
I haven't. It's still going. but I will say, in when did vapes come out? Probably the last year.
20. When did we leave school? Probably
2017.
2017, 2018. They started becoming more popular.
I definitely didn't have it back then.
No, I'm saying that's when they started, and then as time went on, they went from the QVs to the bigger ones to the bigger ones.
Which one did I? What year did we start? It would have been 2020 or something.
Yeah.
I reckon. So it's been 4 years that I've been vaping. Shit, that is a scary thought. Not gonna lie.
4 years. 1, 2. I
It would be
had
around that, I'd say.
Yeah, mine was about a 2-year addiction. Wow, no, it was not. About 2 years, 3 years.
2 or 3 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Either way, the point I'm trying to make is, when I was on that, it made me really evaluate my life and think, do I really want to be swacking a battery filled with this flavoured fruit flavours in my mouth? Like, I look like an idiot holding a battery thing in my hand and putting it in my pocket. It's like, what am I doing? So I seriously woke up to myself and realized, what am I actually doing? So now I just buy cigarettes. Doesn't feel not really any better, if I'm to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. Like,
Combats the
look,
fact.
we're PTs.
Yeah.
So we're in the health industry, but how do I say this to people? How do I explain it? Everyone sees PTs as health nuts or health enthusiasts.
Or people.
We, as PTs, we're coaches. I can coach you to improve your physical health through fitness and exercise and training. Well, I'm good with that stuff. I do that stuff for myself. It doesn't mean that I'm going to be following positive health habits in the medical field or medical side of things all the time. I train like a crazy man sometimes. If you walked into the gym with me, you'd want to leave after 5 minutes. But I smoke. So how do you explain that one, Ray? How would you explain that one to people? Like, we love training, we love exercise, but we smoke. It doesn't really affect the other side of things. Just because I smoke cigarettes doesn't mean I'm going to stop training.
Yeah.
Vice versa. Just because I stop doesn't mean my training's going to increase or anything like that. So
I think a lot of people don't talk about the fact that there's reasons as to why people do things. And the reason, some people fall down that path is a sense of security or a little bit of relief or stress reduction, or like there's so many factors as to why people fall down that path. And when you actually start talking about
but then you attach that feeling with that
addiction.
Attach that result. No, you attach that feeling to that outcome or that like for smoking, for example, if you feel like you get relief from smoking, whenever you feel like you need to get relieved, you smoke. So you're always going to be in that habit of doing it, because as soon as the moment you feel any sort of stress, you're going to be like, oh, I need to smoke. And then that's where the habit starts getting created.
Yeah.
Or like if you attach it to wake up in the morning, ready to start your day, have a smoke, then every single time you wake up in the morning, you're going to go into the habit of needing to have a smoke as soon as you wake up.
I think a lot of people have to...
Caffeine addictions as well.
Yeah.
The moment people wake up in the morning, they have a coffee, and it's such a common thing for people to do. Cafes are mostly open in the mornings because of that reason, If you never have had coffee in the morning, you probably have the same energy levels as the next person who wakes up with a coffee. It's just a habit that you created, and now you feel like you won't function without the caffeine, and you probably won't because your body's so used to having it.
I think it comes down to if you're willing to make a habit so easily available to you through the source of nicotine or coffee or anything like that, what makes you think that you can't start a new habit with something like fitness?
Yeah, 100%.
Because if you can go down to the shops and buy a packet of cigarettes or buy a vape and then walk back to your car, then hop in the car, then go home, in that span of that 20 minutes it takes you to go and do all that.
But you have to also include the smoking of those things, because they will definitely come home and smoke it.
Yeah, so like that time included, you're looking at maybe half an hour altogether.
Yeah, full half an hour workout in.
Full half an hour workout in, a walk, like those are the little things that I think people that go through addictions don't realize, is the fact that you can just flip the script. Okay, if I've spent say $45 this week on a packet of cigarettes, where can I reinvest that $45? Oh, there's a membership down the road that gives me gym access, this. Oh, okay, well, if I can spend $15 a week here paying for a gym membership, I've got an extra $30 that I could go buy 3 chickens, and with those 3 chickens, I could make meals for 3 weeks. So there's my $45 spent.
Yeah, there we go. It's
So
all about flipping the script and thinking about how you can improve your situation or improve your habits.
The one thing that I've taken on board is to be very open and honest with my clients, and I'll harmonize back onto what we're talking about, addictions. In the sense that I say to them at the very beginning, do you smoke? Do you have any addictions? Is there anything that you have that you feel is a problem? Yeah, 100%. It's probably the easiest way to get an understanding of how easy they can create a habit from past problems and using that as fuel to gain new habits.
True, like if they're a heavily addicted person, then they can probably get addicted to exercise just as much.
So if you have an addictive
actually.
if you had an addictive personality in the sense that, you know, you can rally up 20 boys to go down and fucking go to the beach or something. All right, well, if you have the personality for that, why don't you have the personality for yourself to G yourself up to go to the gym? You know, you can go down to the shops, buy new gym gear, buy new running shoes, and buy a water bottle and a towel. Shouldn't that it just the chemical reaction that happens in your head, it doesn't correlate with a satisfying feeling because it's nothing like nicotine, it's nothing like caffeine. But when you start to change people's perspective on the fact that this is bettering your health, this is bettering your mental health, this is bettering your social interactions, this is bettering your gut health, you start poking and prodding the bear with little pins, then one day it's just going to be like a more seamless change.
100%. And that's if they want to quit. I know I don't.
You have to be ready. You have to be really ready.
I know, like I feel like, yes, it's not good, but you know, I don't see it as a big issue for me.
Yeah. At the moment.
At the moment. Yeah.
At the moment. It's just something
Talk to me when I can't run anymore, and I'll be like, this is a problem. But I'm still jacked. So it's all right.
I think it just comes down to, you know, when you have to stop. And I'll
just create the habit that stops me.
Yeah, you just have to.
Or replace it with a better habit.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm kind of running more, and I feel like to run, I can't.
Sorry guys, the podcast cut off. Stay tuned for next week's episode. Thank you for listening. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe.